The mic's fine. The mic's fine. Listen, this week, we're starting off hot and heavy. It's going to be an angry episode. And I know that some people look for this to not be you don't want to start, this is a midweek podcast. You don't want it to be angry, but you know what? Scheduling difficulties on both of our ends. Here we are. And I just got back to town. I was away for 10 days. I'm tired, and I know I look tired. I know I have a 38-year-old tired face, which I'm not 38 yet, but in a few weeks I will be. 3 weeks to be exact. Okay? And then eventually Mark's real birthday will be the following month, July 11th. Let's not forget. And we're going to bring him a gift for that. But welcome back to a Life with Lenoci podcast. I hope you're catching up on the vlogs. I did release a crowd work video, 5 minutes. If you're listening to this episode, can you go watch that? If not, like it and put, hey, I watched this because I watched the podcast. Do that for me. That would be cool. So then I know the algorithms are working. I'm going to release another crowd work clip in probably a couple weeks. Looks like the microphone just got disappointed. What are you writing down? What are you taking notes like you're a therapist? What are you looking at?
Settings.
Oh, you're doing your job. You're being a good job. Like you're writing down the settings so you'll remember.
Yeah, I've got so many shows.
You've
now
never done that before.
I have before.
Dude, you know what? When you are working efficiently, you're kind of adorable. Did you know that? Mark, you're an adorable guy when you're efficient. So I was just in Reno. Maddie was with me, and quite some interesting shows. First of all, Reno is just fucking Reno, so that's what that is. But I appreciate the people that came to shows. It was fun. We made money. Before that, I was at a wedding in Savannah. Why is that funny?
Oh, I just saw the photos.
What, did you not like the photos?
No, it was just in the suit.
Oh, I'm not.
You look like you have like a super big torso and like tiny little legs.
Listen, I got one more wedding and I'm done for a long time. I got another wedding next month. And I'm going to get a black suit for that. You know what? I might rent a tux from Men's Warehouse and surprise everyone.
Good luck.
What do you mean?
It's super hard.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I've had no luck. They're usually all out of suits because everybody was just doing weddings like crazy.
I don't like your attitude. I don't like your attitude about fade the music out. I want the music gone right now. That's where the music. And you know what? I checked on the episodes. You do it correctly, a little too fast. I want it to fade out like this. You like to get rid of things quickly. You do. Let's get it like this. It should be definitely gone by now, but still. Listen, if I didn't have something to complain about, what would we be doing?
That's true.
You know what I mean? I got some corrections from previous episodes. This is going to be exciting for you. Again, listen, if you guys are watching, feel free to comment. We'll talk about, I respond to comments, all that stuff, blah, 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 blah. But I want to go into, I think it was the previous episode. By the way, this is episode 10. We're 9-1. I would consider this is going to be a win for us. Even though we came in hot, we'll knock on wood. Listen, regardless of how this comes out, we're not reshooting it. So it's fine. We're 10-1. We're 9-1. We've only had to reshoot one. And I promise you there will be others that we reshoot. Probably not. Maybe. Who knows? You know what? There won't be ever again. But here's the deal. Be there or be square. Do you remember this?
Sure.
And I was like, what does that mean? And you're like, it's like if you're not there, you're square because of the whole term. Like someone's a square. They're not cool. You said that that's what it was. And you were 100% sure.
I never said I was 100% sure, but that's pretty much where it would probably come from. The etymology of it.
Even though I'm bringing this up right now, Mark, you want to still
enlighten me.
So now you're realizing, wow, we were misinformed.
I could be wrong. Enlighten me.
So it's a pun. Be square, be there, because if you're not there, you're not around. Isn't that crazy? Is that not mind-blowing? Come on. That makes you smile. You go, oh, that's cool. Today I learned that be there or be square means because you're not around. That is funny, dude.
I was 0 days old since I knew.
Guess what? There's another one, man. There's another one. This person was in Reno, And she goes, "Hey, I have a
Wait, this person watched your podcast,
yep,
came up to you to correct.
yep." And
She
I
couldn't
go,
leave a comment on
"Yeah,
online.
yes,
She had to do it in person. Okay.
yes." But I appreciated it. And then she goes, "Why?"
Was it your mother?
No.
Okay.
And she goes, "Why are you writing it down?" I go, "What do you mean?" She's like, "You're not just gonna remember?" I go, "No, I gotta like write down notes for my podcast. Like, I wouldn't remember to talk about that necessarily on the podcast. Like, I'll remember that you said that, yes, but like to." She didn't get it. So then she goes, "I got another one for you. Hold your horses." What do you think this comes from? Now you're playing. Now we're doing riddles. Like we used to do riddles on Village Idiots. Now we're doing a riddle with you. Where do you think hold your horses come from?
Stagecoach.
Stagecoach, the concert thing?
No. Like an actual stagecoach.
What's a stagecoach?
Like, where they like the logo of like Wells Fargo, like, where there's a coach and they had horses.
That's what a stagecoach is?
Yeah.
I thought that was just a carriage with horses. Or horses and carriage.
Same thing.
Well,
the same thing.
A stagecoach? That's what a stagecoach is? It's like, so then hold your horses. What would that mean?
Be like,
hold your horses.
Yeah.
And what does that mean?
Well, you would say hold your horses to be like, slow down, just wait.
Yeah. That's good. Hold your horses is because it's to be stable. Stable. Hold your horses. I feel
like that's a stretch.
You don't like that one?
No, I don't believe it.
Hold your horses because you need to be stable. You're not stable.
I feel like that's a stretch.
You don't like that one?
Nah, I believe the be there, be square one. I think that one is like.
So you think she's lying about this one?
I'm not saying she's lying.
It's the same person.
But it could absolutely be something where like that's, like someone connected the things. Like,
well, if you're telling someone hold your horses is because they're not being stable. I mean, I can go with that. Now you want to Google it?
I'm gonna Google it. I don't buy it.
Google it if you want, but listen, people listening right now, you're learning.
Keep going.
I'm going. I'm just saying. No? Phone is too close to the thing. We're getting the things. Yeah.
Still?
No.
Okay.
What do you have coming up? Nothing? Whatever.
Well, hold on. It's a longer conversation, but
I'm happy with living life thinking that it is what we just went over. You know what I mean? You ever find out information, you're like, I'm good enough with that.
Okay, well, the literal meaning
comes
from the 17th century.
Yeah, that's a couple centuries ago.
It's the 1600s.
Okay, because we're in the 21st century right now? Yeah.
And it says, when someone broke the law, they would trample them with horses. The person in charge would say, hold your horses, and then would tie the lawbreaker onto a piece of wood, lay him on the ground, and then the horses would come and trample him.
Okay, here's the problem. Sure. Is that true? Yes, you're reading it. But that's not in the terms of like when someone says to someone, hey man, hold your horses. It's because they're not being stable. That makes sense though. It makes sense. It's a pun. Do you see what I'm saying? Mark?
Yeah.
Put your phone away and let's focus. How have you been? Seems
good.
Like good?
Yeah.
You seem like you're in a good place.
I'm now over the hump of like one of the busiest weeks I've ever had.
Do you like being busy?
I don't think I particularly like being this busy.
Yeah.
I've worked 28 days in a row.
Here we go again with this guy.
No.
I've worked every day of my whole life.
Yeah, but you get up on stage and have fun.
Sometimes it's not fun.
I'm the guy behind that has to like.
Yeah, your life is pretty much never going to be that fun. It's never going to be that fun. And okay. Oh, I got one for you because this is inside. You're going to like this. Two things. I don't know if we'll get to all of these. First of all, okay. We've talked about the insecurity of comedians before.
Yes.
This is another level, and I'm not going to say the comic's name. You know them. I'll tell you off camera. But the mentality of comedians, stand-up comedians on social media is just crazy, and how fragile they are. So listen, I've probably been through it in the top 5% worst of getting hate and comments and shit like that in the last few years, and just in general, I've dealt with it, and I've dealt with it incorrectly. I've dealt with it horribly, but I've also dealt with it great. And like, you learn how to get good at it, right? That's part of the job, I think. Now, if you're on social media and you have a following, whether it's big or small, or if you've had videos that get a lot of views, whether it's on TikTok or something, there's going to be negative regardless. With all your favorite comics, they have it, and everybody deals with it, right? So that's a thing in general, and that's a thing that everybody has to kind of learn how to handle. And there's no correct way, right? Because we all are emotionally programmed differently.
So you say that as a comedian, you've got to be good to be able to handle heckling on the stage, but a lot of comedians are not equipped to handle it off stage.
That's correct. That's
Okay.
correct. That's a thing which I'm not. I would say I'm not even good at it yet. I still like will get one and be like, "Ugh," and I respond to them. But there's no point of responding. It's very hard to not. But I would say this wasn't a thing of the past. But in today's present world, a comedian needs to now have a new skill of learning how to deal with heckling on social media. That being said, when a comedian comments on another comedian's post and he's busting balls, you got to swallow that. You got to know. And this isn't, Mark, excuse me, this isn't me softening the, what was it the other week where I was telling that other kid something where like
Yeah.
I come in too strong.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like just straight up a funny ass comment and getting a side text about that comment on an Instagram post.
Wait, you commented on someone's and they got butt hurt?
And side text me.
And so not even comment in the comments. They actually had to do the side text or DM.
No, side text.
Side text.
Yeah.
So he pulled out the personal number.
Yeah, and I was in complete shock because I was like, "Oh, you're in your feelings. Like you're taking social media way too seriously." Like, first of all, like here's another example. You know Ocean Galapo?
Yeah.
So he's a friend. He posted a selfie, right? He posted a selfie on Instagram, like him with the shirt off. He's probably my age. We're the same age. Whatever. He might be older, right? You're gonna say way older. Haha, Ocean, fuck off. So if this gets back to him, hey, fuck you, dude. It's all busting balls. He can handle busting balls, but there's always a little salt. He posted a selfie picture, and I commented like, listen, dude. First of all, if you're a comic, outside of Matt Rife, which even Matt Rife, if he does post a selfie, he does some like cheesy thing. He's mocking himself at least to have some humility, right? Because he knows he is the guy who's the good looking comedian, right? So at least he has humility in the caption. He's not like Matt Rife's not going to post a shirtless photo and a serious face and be like, "What up? Feeling great today." Like he's not going to do it like that. He would just, you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying? So Ocean posts a shirtless selfie. And I don't know what the caption was, but I'm like, yo, this ain't happening. Like, this is when I'm scrolling and I see this and I have a good enough rapport with him because that's a guy like I bust balls with off stage before I see him. We've done many shows together. We know each other's like set. We like each other. We get along well. I'm going to fucking go in hard if you do that. If you're a male comedian that's just like the rest of us, regular looking.
You're a male thirst trap comedian.
Yeah. I'm fucking shitting on that, bro. Especially if I feel comfortable enough. If I didn't even know you that well, it would be hard for me not to. You know what I mean? So I comment on it. I go, you look like what E.T. would look like if he tried to work out. And that was funny. And he responds, LOL, right? That's already softened it and goes, fuck you, hater ass bitch. You're just fucking mad because you're fat and unfunny or something like that, right? Which is fine. But like he could tell he's
There's
like,
banter.
maybe I got him a little bit, right? Maybe a little bit stung him,
Yeah.
right? And I'm fine. That's fine if I stung him a little bit. But also he's got to expect that. But I also, he's probably at the point now where he's starting to get his following up from Dion shit. So he gets negative shit probably too. We all do. So it's still a little, rather than going LOL, that's a good one, right? He still did it. I'm fine with the way he did that. Then like I think a couple days later, I posted a clip of an old stand-up clip. He goes, wow, look at that when you were in shape and funny. He said that on mine. Funny.
That's funny.
Right? And then I replied back to him. I go, yeah, now I'm like you. Great. Fun banter. That's good. That's how it should be, right?
Yes.
This next
That's
post.
like good old fashioned like ribbing.
That's how it should be. All right, now I will say this. This isn't a post that I commented on where it was like, hey, I love my mom, some shit like that. It was stand-up related, and I just kind of, the comment was something funny. Like, it was strictly funny, and it was like, oh, you know how people hide the likes?
No.
Okay, on Instagram, you could see everyone's likes. It will just say a number,
Yeah.
like 3,000 likes, 200 likes, 50 likes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it will just say a name and others, and it doesn't
Yeah.
tell you. You can hide the number, right?
Okay.
People do that. I commented, I go, hey, I clicked through and counted all the likes. It's at 70 right now, just so everyone knows. I know it's supposed to be a secret, but that's funny.
That's funny.
Right? That is funny.
That's digging deep. That's doing a homework. That's a good burn.
But I didn't really fucking count them.
Yeah,
I just said that. You know what I mean? Like, I just was like guessing what it would probably be at the time. But it's also funny.
But that's layered and funny.
Yes. It's an Instagram joke too. Because everybody always is seeing that, and when you see someone do it, you're like, I wonder how much. So, like, I'm actually going to use it again on someone else's. I'm going to be like, I counted the likes for everyone. It's at 75 right now. It's just funny.
That's like when someone posts something for a few hours and it has no comments and you throw the crickets in, but that's much better.
Yes, and I'm going to use it again because I think it's really fun. Because
really
I've confronted other people, like how I did with you with texting the other young guy who was trying comedy that one. Yeah. I was like, am I missing something here? Like, was I complete a piece of shit? No, across the board, 100%. Oh, that's funny, right? Then got the side tech and I go, oh. So then I said, hey, man, like, you know me well enough. Like, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. Like, that's funny, and I thought you would understand that that's funny. If you take that the wrong way, I'm sorry. And I went and deleted the comment. But now, this guy also is a younger comic. You put that. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that, bro. You know that's what's crazy. And also, it makes me think like, oh, you also mentally, you're caught up in this social media thing a lot. Like, your feelings are hardcore, and you're very aware of what everyone is doing on social media, and it's very close and personal to you, which, you know, is fine. But, like, let me tell you this right now, for all the comedians out there, man, if another comic comments on your shit and he's busting your balls, you got to eat that shit. You got to eat that, or otherwise you're a bitch. If you can't fucking handle another comic commenting on your shit, even if it's like, I understand you can't read sarcasm and stuff, but, like, you're a fucking bitch. This is a fucking business, man, where if you want to be a comedian, you got to be able to take shit, and you got to be able to take hate from random people, because it comes in hard, and it's getting even bigger and more every day. And the bigger you get, the more hate you get. And you got to have thick skin, because if you don't, you're going to crumble hard like a cookie. Yeah. Let that be real, dude. Comics are soft on Instagram. That's what it comes down to.
I 100% agree.
Comedians are soft on Instagram. Comedians are the most insecure, soft.
No.
Maybe not the most. All right, but comedians are. There's a lot of comedians who are very soft on Instagram. Yeah. You guys pay.
I would say Instagrammers are way softer.
Okay, but I'm saying comedians on Instagram, a lot of them are very insecure or get sensitive based off what people say or do on their post. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. You're a stand-up comedian. If other comedians talk shit or do something, don't take it personal. This all doesn't matter. None of this will matter.
Like extreme beef with them, but like
sure, but or if it's like a post about, hey, my mom, my dad, or something like heartfelt, fine. But if you're like, oh wow, fucking, like, here's a perfect example. Oh wow, 2 sold out shows. This is so amazing. Never got to do that before. And then someone commented, yeah, it was 12 seats each show. Like, the funny. We're having a good time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all.
I feel like there's better ones, but sure.
I'm just using an example of like someone being like annoyed by a comment like that, because you're like, oh, you know, like, that's something where someone's proud, obviously. But, like, if you do a proud post, comedians are allowed to shit.
But I feel like if you're a comedian and you're trying to do the, like, the thirst trap photos.
Oh, dude. Ocean, man. You do it again, I'm coming at you.
The male ones are bad, but sometimes the girl ones, I'm like.
Well, first of all, I'm not even going to get into the female comic things because we don't want to get I mean,
Sure.
I can't get in trouble, but I
By all
will.
means, they should be able to do
Listen,
whatever the hell they want.
I will say this right now. Yes, it's hard to do the sexually attractive comedy thing. It's a hard mix, but it can be done. I will say this though. A female comic's worst enemy is a female comic. I have never seen something more toxic in my life. Now, I get that everyone in every industry, people hate each other, but I have personally, and I'm telling you this right now, if you're younger comics that watch this, I've personally had, I would say, 4 different female comics I've talked to on the phone in the last 2 months talk about other female comics. That's mind-boggling. I've never in the last 3 years have had that happen. I've had that maybe happen with like one guy saying something about another comic, and that happens like once every like 4 years. And then another guy might be about that same comic. But I rarely have had a guy call me and be like, yo, what's up with this kid? Fuck it. Like, how are they? Like 4 different times in the last 3 months. You guys are your own worst enemy. You guys should be helping each other out. And I think it's because they're threatened because there's less woman spots, right? They feel like they only get 1 spot per show.
I will say this as someone who books shows.
Yeah.
I don't ask women now if other women are good.
Yeah, what's the... Oh, you've seen the...
Because they'll do, And
they're haters, bro.
Then I will
Women
ask,
comics are the biggest
ask
haters.
like a handful of guys and they'll be like, oh man, she's fire. She's great. She's this. She's that. She's this.
Yeah.
And it
Steph, to me... All right, I'll name one off
doesn't
the top.
matter what they look like for the guys.
No.
They're like funny is funny is funny.
2 of the funniest female comics. Not that it even matters. You're a comedian, right? Steph Tolev
Yeah.
and Beth Stelling. Those are my 2 favorite female comics. There's a lot of other female comics I love, but I've noticed female comics are their own worst enemies. They hate on each other so much, which is like so stupid, but I guess that's just women's nature. Like men will get in a fist fight and still be friends with that guy a week later after it falls off. Women will not be friends with each other because of an argument over dinner. I mean, we watch it on Real Housewives. Like they're at each other's necks. But I knew that was always a thing. But having 4 different female comics call me in the last few months and complain all about different comics, not like the same circle. 4 different girl comics call me about 4 different girls. Like, that's crazy. I get it. Everybody's like, I feel like female comics are more looking at what other female comics are doing than any other.
You know, my favorite thing though is, you know how I said they'll go, whatever.
Yeah.
But then when you get them in the same room, hey, how are you doing? Oh my God, it's so great to be on the show.
Yeah. No, if you ask me about a comic and I'm like, when I see him, I'll be like,
Yeah, but you don't like any comics. Because I'll ask you all the time about this person. You'll be like, meh.
No, if you ask me about a comic and he kills, I'll be like, that guy kills. I don't have to be a fan.
No, I remember there's one that I know you work with consistently. And then you were like, And I was like, no, he's great.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who's this then?
It was Jackson McQueen.
There's no way I would say that about Jackson McQueen.
I know you're a fan of his.
He's one of my best friends.
And it was back when we were doing like early.
There's no way. It was someone else.
We'll have to pull up the.
You'll have to. There's no way.
I was like,
I've been one of his biggest advocates. There's no way. Motherfucker's trying to cause me a fight with one of my best friends.
Yeah,
you're out of your mind.
I remember going like, hey, like I saw Jackson. He murdered. He's like, yeah. You're like, yeah, he's good.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna give it up for anyone. But Jackson's very funny.
Jackson's really good.
No, relax. Really, when you say someone, now you're pissing me off. When you say someone's really good, it's like when you go, oh, he's really good. Like, okay, yeah, Bill Burr's really good.
But no, I say that about you.
Yeah, but
I genuinely like your comedy.
Yeah, that's fine. But like, there's really good is like.
Oh, take a compliment.
I don't do that. No, I wouldn't say that. Okay, I get what you're saying. No, I would always support Jackson, try to get him on anything. So there's no way I would be like, he ain't funny.
No,
I
didn't say he's not funny.
Well, we'll fix that because someone could clip this and it gets sent to Jackson. Goes, and Jackson goes, hey man, yo, did you? You know what's funny is this is going to be the thumbnail and the episode's going to be called Jackson McQueen and he's just going to watch it and he's going to be, no, I would never do that with Jackson. Now, if you asked me if you asked me genuinely, do you think this guy's funny? I would be like, I don't think a guy's funny. I would say that to you.
Okay.
If you said,
Then that might have been closer.
yeah, if you were like, hey, do you think this comic is funny or not? I'd be like, I don't think they're funny at all. But I would never, if you are asking me about a comic, I know it's because you maybe are going to book them. I'm like, yeah, first of all, I want you to put all those guys on.
Yeah.
You know, I'll even tell you to book Mark Hayes. So, you know.
Even Mark?
Yeah, give him some love, you know, whatever. So there you go.
I just can't understand him.
No one can.
I'm just kidding.
He just needs
I can
subtitles.
get
No, but like I will be like, all right, but I'm definitely not. I never. You're right. I definitely never go. Oh, I love him. Love to watch him.
No, you don't.
I don't want to watch any. Yeah, because I'm just like more.
I
like
think the only thing you've ever like gushed about was like George Carlin.
Yeah.
But that's George Carlin.
Yeah. I saw a bit of Bill Burr's recently. I was like, oh, that's really good. And I hated giving it up for him. I'm a hater, man. At least I sit in it and I know it. You know why? Because it's like I've been doing it so long. I'm like, I don't want to hear about anyone else's. I just wanted to do mine. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to get any ideas. I saw Bill's bit the other day, and I just was like in my head. I thought about it, and I was like, how do I do that with my bits? The example is a bit. It's out there, and he starts off with when I first heard it, he's talking about fake legs. Do you know what I'm talking about? Have you seen it?
No.
He's like when we were growing up and someone had a fake leg, you know, like you were like, you could tell it was like a Band-Aid color.
Oh yeah.
It was a Band-Aid color and you're like, they got what were they serving in military? Like whatever. It's something like that. And I'm like, where's he going with this already? And I'm going to break down the whole thing. Cause in my head, I'm like, why is he doing a bit about fake legs, right? I get he's been doing comedy so long because in my mind, I'm still at the point where I'm doing bits about like my personal life still, right? Because I guess you want to get people to love you and know you. So that's how I see it. I don't think there's any rules, but I feel like I'm going to do bits about myself. Then people know me. Then you get famous. You could start going abstract, right? And maybe that's why he does. But I'm like, it's so out of left field, right? I'm just like, is he just picking a topic and now he's doing a bit? Because I don't think that's how he does comedy. I don't think he's just like, all right, fake legs, let's go. And then, right. No, he honestly sees something on TV, watches, and he goes, and he has a strong feeling about it. That's how he does it. So I'm like, where's he going with this? So he's talking about the fake leg and goes, how good they look now. He's like, now it's like, they're almost like, then he goes into like, all right, he's shitting on the fake legs from back in the day, which is already like, that's hard to do, right? But he's making it kind of funny because we know his personality. And then he goes, now they make him so good. They make fake legs so good that those people who have fake legs are not allowed to participate in the Olympics with people with real legs. That's a rule. They're not allowed to because the fake legs are so good that they're better than the people with regular legs. That's a real thing now. Mm-hmm. So now I'm like, oh, that's why he brought it up. Because I don't know if you guys know this. They have those, when they're those blades. Runners, they have those blades. It actually some of them are faster, or we don't know, but we've proven that it can. There was this issue a couple years ago.
Oscar Pistorius.
Yeah, it was a couple of years ago, right? There was an issue of like, no, we don't want to mix them, and maybe he was faster. So now, and then I'm like, okay, so now I see halfway through the bit why he came up with it, right? Because of that issue. But he reversed it. He brought it to his childhood, where how when he remembers seeing fake legs, how shitty and trashy they look. So now I'm like, wow, that's cool. Already that's a level of a bit that I'm like, oh, I'm learning. I'm like, how can I do that? Then he takes it the next step. And that's where I go, oh, that's fucking brilliant. He goes, doctors are fucking better than God at making legs. And I go, that is when I was like, oh my God. That is that line of going, isn't that fucking fascinating? He's like, our doctors are better than God. They make better fucking legs than your God, you know? So that's like a fuck you to religion. So I was like, that's, you know, and all the bit was obviously great. I'm just ruining the bit, but like it was those three moments. I was like, how do I do that? And it just got me twirling. I was like, I got to go through my set now. And like, this was last night. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go home. I'm going to go home this week and just go through all my bits and try to like.
I feel like he had to reverse engineer it. He had to start with the.
Well, the thought definitely came in when he's seeing it on the news or Sports Center, and he's like, when that issue was on the news, I think it was like last year or 2 years ago, they're like, they don't want them in the limb. He's like, he's probably like, ain't that some fucking shit, you know? And he was like probably thinking about it. And then he's old enough to bring back. He's like, I remember when it was like Forrest Gump. You had a fucking dumb leg, like it didn't do shit. And then the funny is like, how can I make this really funny? And the brilliant part is like, yeah, it's like, oh, they're better than God now. Like, so there is a little reverse engineering. So it's like, do I have enough life experience to reverse engineer one of my, I don't know, but that bit really stuck with me. I was like, cause I saw how he did it and I was like, oh, I got to really dig into my bits. So I thought that was cool. That's actually pretty cool to think about. You guys are welcome. I want to do, I could save it for next week, but no, I guess I could do it this week. I was in Reno. I was in Reno and I was doing shows and we stayed at the Grand Sierra Hotel. That's really the main hotel there. And I was there. This is going to be fun for you. There was, because I don't know if you know what it is, but if you do know what it is, I know that you're going to be so excited that someone else knows about it, because this is something so weird and dorky, not that you're involved in it, but that you know about it. Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So there was a furry convention.
Oh, God.
Oh, so you know about this.
I know what they are.
I had no idea about this.
Please. I will be really upset.
Oh, bro,
If
I
you
got a
didn't
whole
do a
I
whole
got a
life
whole
with
vlog.
Lenoci.
Yes, I got a whole vlog.
Thank you.
Oh, I got
That's
a
all.
vlog.
I'm
Dude,
good. I'm
first
good.
of all, I brought
good.
my camera. I brought the camera because I didn't have the guy, but I'll shoot stuff. So me and Matt were shooting stuff, and I was like, for the Reno shows, and I'm like,
Matt seems like the guy who'd be a secret furry.
Maddie?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. I'll tell you who would be a secret furry. Someone like Craig would. Matt, it's fun.
Yeah, I could see it.
No one's listen. I got to know a lot about. Do you know anything about it? If you don't know,
not in deep.
okay. If you, oh my god, earthquake. All right. If you don't know, this kind of sucks because this episode's coming out this week, and the furry convention episode won't come out for 3 weeks actually. So if you're watching and you're watching this later, there's in a couple weeks, one of my vlogs, there will be a furry convention episode. Right now, there will be a Dallas episode, Irvine episode, Reno. Yeah, so it's a little bit of ways. Yeah.
Question for you.
It's very
Did you
informative.
discover that it was happening and then you're like, we've got to go?
No. It's in the hotel we're staying at. So I get to the hotel, we check in, and they're like, oh, we got you on the party floor. We're going to move you so you can avoid that. And we're already like seeing, they're like, the guy we find out right when we get picked up from the airport. The Uber guy's like, are you guys here for the convention? We're like, what's, we're like, what's the convention? He goes, the furry convention. We're like, no.
Did you just say jackpot at
like,
that moment?
No. I'm like, what's that? And he goes, I've never heard of this.
Really?
I have no idea. So then I'm hearing about this convention, and then they dress up like mascots. That's what I'm thinking, right? Then we get there, then we start seeing them in the hotel. Like they've completely taken over the casino, the whole casino. I mean, there's probably over 3,000 of them. I mean, there's a lot of them. Like the elevators are crazy.
Was it in Reno?
I don't know. I was just always inside. It wasn't. No, Reno's colder because it's north.
Okay.
It's up towards like Sacramento.
Gotcha.
You know, bro. I go around and eventually I'm like, all right, Maddie, we're going to do a whole separate episode here. And first of all, we're just getting B-roll shit, just following them, seeing stuff. Then we start learning about them. We're Googling. We're like, what is this? How is it? Is it sexual? Is it like, I will say this about the vlog. I sat down and I shot one part of the vlog. I verbatim, I pretty much said this. I go, hey guys, in this episode, I just want to clarify. I think what is going on here is really beautiful and I think it's awesome. And in no way or form are we bullying or making fun.
Oh, God.
It's just a very learning experience for me. But also my vlog is also entertainment and comedy. I just want to put that out there. So I made sure to put that out there in case, God forbid, this episode, when I title Furry Convention, it like gets views and I don't get attacked, that it is informative. But like, obviously I am like interviewing some of them, going like some of them that we found one guy, and he was like kind of pulling back the curtain a little bit and explaining us about the convention. He goes, he was Cuban. He's like, people come from all over, and people are here for fun, or some people are here for fun, but some people are here for anything. We accept everyone. It doesn't matter. Transgenders, gays. I assume there's a lot of gay, based on what I've seen. A lot of gay. A lot of people in the furry convention are there because they can be themselves in these outfits. I will also say a lot of the people there are also, some of them are on the spectrum. Some of them have learning disabilities, but some of them are also very smart people who are just very introverts that are now able to be like extroverts. Outroverts. Well, that would have been fucking embarrassing. So I interviewed one guy, and he was cool, and like there are some sexual parts of it. Dude, at one point we saw two of them like kissing and feeling each other up, but like in the car. It's just like, what are we doing? Well, like just go to the hotel and hook up. But like they're doing it from the outside as the characters. Then another one I pull over because I interviewed like 3 or 4 of them. One of the guys was just dressed like a magician. He wasn't, because they're not all just in like mascot. Some of them are just like dressed up how they want to dress up. They're not all furries. Like this guy was dressed up like a Johnny Depp character from like kind of like all magician-y looking. And he was like, he was just like, did you guys get permission? I go, I don't need permission. He's like, I go, no, this is for YouTube. I'm a comedian. He goes, yeah, but I go, hey man, I'm staying here doing shows. I'm going to film and no one can tell me I can't. And he goes, okay, well, I don't care. I'll still do the interview, but I'm just like, I go, it's fine. Do you want to answer the questions or not? Otherwise, we'll keep going. And he was like trying to be like an enforcer, but then we were asking him, I go, is there like a celebrity furry? And he was like, yes, there is. But then when I asked the Cuban guy, he was like, oh, it's bullshit. That's not true. Like, it's all over the place. Who's the celebrity?
Who's the celebrity?
He says some name. I don't know. We would have to like, he some guy that lives on the East Coast. But then the Cuban guy who said he's been a furry for years said it's not true. And by the way, also furries have to come out as furries to their families. Like you have to like be like, hey, mom, dad, I'm a furry. Also, some of them stay in character when they're in the furry and won't break. And I got one of those interviews too. I go, so how long have you been wearing the costume? Blah, blah, blah. And they're like, what costume? What did you find? Is there a famous furry?
So they're saying the closet furries would be like Elon Musk or like Ariana Grande.
Oh, like
I could believe Ariana.
I will say this. I don't see how there would be. I don't think that's true. You know why? Because there's no way you would be able to. Like, because a lot of them walk around afterwards too without the furries. And when they're not walking around with the furries, you could tell, like, are you listening?
Yeah.
You could be like, that guy's here for the. You're like, that guy's here for, like, how, like, there's no way Elon or because this is the third biggest one, by the way.
What about like Andrew WK? That was another one that was brought up.
Who's that famous actor?
No, he's a musician.
There's just no way. I'll tell you why. Because how are they functioning unless they like drove there, got dropped off as the furry, and then leave as the furry, and then go do their own thing. But if they're staying in that hotel, how you couldn't function walking, because then you'd be like, oh my god, I saw what's his name was here. You know what I mean? Like, you're not in the furry for fucking nonstop. You're sweating ball. You know what I mean? You're in the furry, but when some of them are not in the furry, you could tell they're wearing like little badges and they're like weird, and they got the weird piercings, and they're, they're different. And I know they're different, and it's okay to call them different because they were calling us normies. They called us normies. So
how many people were dressed like My Little Pony?
No, it's not like that.
None of them?
It's like these, they're like, a lot of them are dogs and like wolves, but like not characters from anything.
Okay.
They're
so
like
not
custom made ones. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what's fascinating too. Like, I wish I could pull up a picture.
No, it's all right. I'll watch the vlog.
Oh, but it will be like a month when it comes out because I have so many back.
I'm sure you've got a ton of footage.
But bro, it was fascinating. Okay. I had no idea about this, but in a way it's cute because they get to be themselves. But it's just like, if you have no idea what furries are, Just Google, and you'll go into a deep hole about it. It's just like crazy. So you had heard about this before?
Oh yeah. It's known in pop culture.
Yeah,
Like it's been brought
pretty
up in a
big.
few shows,
Oh,
like as a joke or whatever. Like it'll be like one of those toss away things, like in the not in the office, but like
I'm going to a furry convention this weekend. What?
yeah, or like
You don't know a furry convention?
where they cut to the character and he's dressed up and you're like, oh shit, he's a furry.
Yeah, it's just yeah. It's fat, and some of them are doing drugs. They're
Like, I
like
want to say like Modern Family did a thing.
they're partiers.
Yeah.
Some party.
yeah.
So like there was one dance. I'm like, oh, he's on Molly. Some are like they're all. But the one thing we couldn't find, I was like, man, there's gotta be like one who's just like a cool guy that like fucks all the furries.
Yeah, there's got to be
Like, he's
one
the cool
alpha
guy.
furry.
Yeah, but like couldn't find one.
You couldn't find him.
Found,
That's 'cause
like,
he's
one-
probably in the room.
Yeah, but it did not see. And this part might be there was not really any attractive furries.
That was gonna be my next question.
There wasn't. I couldn't even remotely find one. A lot of them are like.
Did you try to get Chimber in an outfit?
No, I mean he was even more like this is ridiculous. Like I was more understand. I mean,
I bet you he'd be mad at it. Like not mad.
it did get a little annoying after. But dude, some of them are definitely like, there's guys. There's some are cross dressers. It's definitely, something. A lot of them are not wired. There's.
Yeah.
Normal. They're not wired normal. You have to be correct because I can't say wired correctly.
Yeah.
Although that's what this is.
There's got to be a politician out there. That's one.
I don't know. That doesn't go with the culture, though. Like, if you're in that mindset of wanting to be a politician, that's where I don't buy.
It might not be like a full furry, but it'll be a kink.
Here's the thing. Do people have kinks? Yes. Like, I think there's a politician who wants to have a gag ball and be whipped. Like, that's a common thing from billionaires and rich people because they're always telling people what to do.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? They want to be dominated, right? I get that. That's a kink thing. But this convention is like they're big fans. They went into the thing. Like they're like these people. I'm guessing like what do they do for a professional? It's like engineer, like inside stuff, cubicle stuff, computer stuff. Very smart people. There's no construction workers doing this. You know what I mean? Like could some of them be actors or comedians or probably, but like there's no alpha energy at all. Out of the 3,000 I saw there. It's not like that at all. There's no athletic ability. There's just nothing. A lot of them are out of shape. There's no one in shape.
Is there money in doing like a furry games?
I don't know. That's what I wonder. Like, how is this convention? We never figured out that like everyone's just there meeting up, but like, do they make money? Like, what is this? He's like, and the Cuban guy, he's just like, it's like anything. If you were like to go to Comic-Con, like people are just meeting up here to have a good time. There's anything here. You want to get drunk, you can do that. You want to do this, you can do that. You want to do that.
Do they have to pay a fee to attend a convention?
I mean, you have to book the hotel, but
then there's a kickback. Okay.
You have to book the hotel, and then but we couldn't get in the thing. We got that far. They're like, you need the pass. I go, how's the pass? I don't know if we didn't. I was like, should we go get it? I think we could have got like a $25 pass for one of them, but I don't know if you have to get approved to get into it.
Was there like furry outfits for sale there, like vendors and merch?
No. Everybody already had their outfit, and some are made.
It wasn't like
there was a horse one.
Foxtail butt plug you could just put in.
Someone was saying that one of the people working there was saying that some of the tails are butt plugs.
Oh yeah.
I was like, then they're walking around like that all day? Yeah. It's wild, man. On that note, butt plug furries. It's a real thing. It's all the things you can imagine.
At that moment, did you say, I will not pull that tail now?
I mean, I wasn't going to pull the tail because of then like we're bullying.
Yeah.
The funny part was Saturday night, 2 Chainz is performing at the nightclub in the casino. And we were at our show, but I go, we got to get here for when the people who are going to the club to see 2 Chainz run into this. Like, this has got to be the most comedic thing ever. But I feel like 2 Chainz goes on late, and then they're all they had the pool party. But it was pretty fascinating. But, I feel good for what we did today, and thank you guys for watching or listening. If you're listening, leave a 5-star review, please. Thank you. And if you're watching, like, subscribe, share, and check out the furry vlog coming out in a few weeks. Ciao.